welcome back to the channel. So, when you first see AI Limit, it hits you like a broken dream. A dying world where cities rot under the weight of failed experiments, and flesh has fused with machine beyond recognition. It's grim, it's haunting, and it's not just another Souls-like reskin. Behind every flooded lab and biomechanical horror is a story drawn from some of the bleakest, most fascinating corners of sci-fi, Eastern philosophy, and the same cruel design DNA that made Dark Souls and Nier Automata so unforgettable. Today we're going deep into what truly inspired AI Limit, the dark ideas, the cultural roots, and the raw fear of what happens when we push past our human limits and can't come back. Stick with me for the next 20 or so minutes because we're not guessing. We're breaking down exactly what inspired AI Limit, where it really came from, and why it might be the next big twist in the Souls-like genre. To begin with, before we dive into the inspirations behind AI Limit, let's get grounded in what this game actually is. AI Limit is the indie Souls-like action RPG developed by Sense Game Studios and published by Palm Pioneers Vanguard Studio, and it officially released back in March of this year. Now, it might not have the massive marketing push or flashy budget of a AAA title, but don't let that fool you. This game packs a serious punch. It features tight, deliberate combat that demands precision, patience, and adaptability. Classic Souls-like hallmarks. But it also layers in a complex, cryptic narrative you uncover by exploring its haunting, decayed world. This isn't a game that hands you the story on a silver platter. Instead, the lore is hidden in the environment, in broken AI data, in the design of the biomechanical monstrosities you fight, and the ruined cities that you traverse. But what really sets AI Limit apart is the core philosophical question it poses throughout your journey. How far can humanity push the boundaries of life and technology before it stops being human? The title itself, AI Limit, points directly at this boundary, the moment where flesh merges with machine, where mind fuses with code, and it becomes impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. It's a world shaped by that terrifying gray zone, a place where experiments to transcend mortality have gone terribly wrong, leaving behind a ruined civilization overrun by corrupted technology and infected life forms. Every step you take in this world is a step through humanity's greatest fear, that in seeking to conquer death and become something beyond human, we lose the very essence of what makes us human in the first place. So when you're facing down these biomechanical horrors or piecing together broken logs scattered through abandoned labs, you're not just fighting for survival, you're uncovering a deeper tragedy about ambition, loss, and the price of pushing past the limit. Sense Game devs have been very open about Nier Automata being a massive influence in this game, and if you played Nier, you already feel it. Nier Automata gave the world an existential sci-fi tragedy. Machines trying to be humans, androids trying to find purpose in an endless world. The vibe isn't neon cities, it's ruined urban wastelands, collapsed towers, flooded factories reclaimed by plants. Sounds familiar? AI Limit mirrors that atmosphere, drowned cities, broken labs full of biomechanical husks, reminders that we reached too far. The combat, fast, punishing, but also strangely graceful, a nod to Nier's Ballad of Blades. But the real inheritance is the feeling that every fight, every boss is asking you a question. What did we sacrifice for this progress? Was it worth it? Now, you can't talk about AI Limit without talking about Dark Souls and Bloodborne. The devs love From Software's indirect narrative style, no expedition dumps, no hand-holding. You learn the truth through scraps, old files, corrupted terminals, abandoned bunkers, boss designs that tell you what kind of sin they were built to contain. Sound familiar? It's Souls-like 101. World building you piece together while you die again and again. You're not just hacking through biomechanical horrors for fun, you're digging up humanity's final confession. We tried to cheat death with machines, and this is all we left behind. Not only did the devs take inspiration from Software in terms of lore building, but they also took it in terms of combat. The devs have said Bloodborne was a major influence on how AI Limit plays. Unlike some Souls-likes that lean towards defensive or slow combat, Bloodborne encourages aggressive, fast-paced action, rewarding players who can read enemy patterns and strike decisively. AI Limit adopts this philosophy, making combat brutal, but fair, and biomechanical enemies that demand precision, timing, and adaptability. This creates tense, thrilling encounters that keep you on edge, a perfect match for the world's harsh, unforgiving atmosphere. Let's not forget, another source of influence when it comes to storytelling. BioShock revolutionized storytelling by embedding its narrative in its environment. Logs, audio diaries, and visual clues tell the story without slowing down the overall gameplay. AI Limit uses a similar approach. Instead of cutscenes or explicit narration, you uncover the tragic history of its world by piecing together corrupted AI files, abandoned research notes, and the design of its terrifying biomechanical creatures. This immersive storytelling makes exploration rewarding and makes the world feel lived in and tragic. Perfect for a game that makes big questions without spoon-feeding you the answers. Next up, the Metro series, providing clear influence on AI Limit's level design and atmosphere. Metro is famous for its claustrophobic tunnels, underground ruins, and radioactive wastelands that feel alive with threat. AI Limit borrows that feeling of tension and careful exploration, where moving through flooded, collapsed tunnels isn't just about navigation, but survival. This sense of tight, oppressive spaces creates a different kind of dread than open wastelands, forcing players to be cautious, aware, and ready for danger around every corner. The devs have also said that Code Vein was a big inspiration for AI Limit. Both games mix anime-style Souls-like action with post-apocalyptic bioorganic worlds filled with twisted, corrupted creatures. AI Limit takes that vibe and makes it colder and more mechanical, swapping Code Vein's vampiric powers for infected AI cores and biomechanical nightmares. Combat-wise, AI Limit follows Code Vein's lead with faster, aggressive fights that demand timing and skill, all wrapped in a tragic, cryptic story you uncover piece by piece. This influence helps AI Limit stand out in the Souls-like genre, even if it doesn't always fully deliver on its promise. Now, let's talk a little bit more about where the art was inspired from with Blame, a cult classic anime known for its vast, endless megastructures and eerie atmosphere. AI Limit draws heavily from Blame, in both world design and art style. The game's cel-shaded visuals aren't just a stylistic choice, they create a sharp, moody world filled with industrial ruins that feel like endless labyrinth cathedrals of metal and wire. This gives AI Limit a unique look. It's not aiming for photorealism, but instead focuses on atmosphere and mood, making every corridor feel oppressive, every shadow alive and menacing. You can see how the haunting visual language shapes the way players experience the game's environments. Moving from art to atmosphere, AI Limit channels the brutal survivalism of Mad Max and the Fallout series. These inspirations shine through in the game's world, a post-collapse wasteland where resources are scarce and danger lurks in every ruined street and overgrown factory. The sense of decay and desperation is palpable. It's a world trying to heal, but haunted by its violent past. This survival vibe isn't just skin deep. It informs gameplay pacing, how you approach encounters, and the constant feeling of tension and risk that's central to any great Souls-like experience. However, here's what truly makes AI Limit stand apart from Nier or any of the other games, is that it's deeply Chinese. The developers of the game have said they didn't want another Western-style dystopia. They wanted something with local identity, something that carries cultural shadows unique to China. So you see small but powerful touches. Chinese characters carved into rusted doors, hints of Taoist ideas about transformation and balance. Even the obsession with limits feels like a modern echo of real Chinese history, where emperors, monks, and alchemists hunted immortality at any cost. In AI Limit, that same hunger is modernized. Instead of mercury elixirs, it's nanoflesh and rogue AI cores. But the end is the same: ruin. So next time AI Limit pops up in your feed, remember, it's far more than just Dark Souls with robots. It's a haunting blend of Nier's tragic humanity and From Software's quiet, crumbling ruins, all filtered through a distinctly Chinese lens that makes its dying world feel intimate and personal, not just another post-apocalyptic wasteland. But that's not all. The game also draws from the sprawling mechanic cathedrals and sharp cel-shaded style of the anime Blame, and the harsh survival grit and relentless wasteland chaos of Mad Max and Fallout, and claustrophobic tension of Metro's underground tunnels, and the immersive environmental storytelling that made BioShock's world so unforgettable. That's why AI Limit stands out. When you finally jump into the game, we'll be there breaking down every secret, every hidden detail, every nightmare lurking in this twisted fusion of influences, because beneath all the ruins, it's clear we're still terrified of what we might become. If you're the kind of player who digs into every lore fragment, watches every boss breakdown, and wants to uncover where these nightmares really come from, you're exactly where you need to be. Smash that like button, it helps the channel connect with more doomed wanderers like yourself. Drop a comment below which part of AI Limit's inspiration hits you the hardest. Is it Nier's existential tragedy? And if you want more deep lore dives and gameplay breakdowns, hit subscribe and ring the bell. We'll be here dissecting every lab, every ruined corner, and every hidden boss phase as the journey through AI Limit's world continues. And if you haven't already, head on over to Twitch at limerivt so you can watch me play Soulslike games on the daily. I'll see you in the next ruins, Wanderer. Goodbye!